Imagine that you are 8 years old and you are showing up on the first day of school, and you sit down at your desk in your brand new classroom and you look around and you see other kids and they have a brand new backpack and they're pulling out notebooks and pencils and brand new pink erasers without any smudges and boxes of crayons that haven't even been cracked open yet. And you look at your desk and there's nothing there because your family could not prioritize buying school supplies for you. It wasn't anything that you did. You had to show up to school, but you just didn't have the ability to bring the things that you need. And that scenario plays out in classrooms all across this region and across the country.
We serve schools and teachers where 55% of the students are on the free and reduced lunch program. And that means that students in the school cannot afford to buy food. They can't afford breakfast or lunch. So obviously they wouldn't be able to afford school supplies. So being able to have the cupboards right there in the school to be able to be accessed on a daily basis has been amazing for the success of this program.
Before, we would have to, we'd see a need and we'd have to then fill it other ways, which would take time. And sometimes there are things that are needed right then. Being able to get it right away, fulfill that need as soon as possible, and not have to wait, okay, we'll have to go get this, we'll have to go buy this, we need to buy that. By looking at that cupboard and being able to immediately address that concern is very helpful, because then the kid can have a successful day. They feel better about themselves and they're ready to learn.
It took about 5 months from having the idea to when we actually started it.
I'm Hubbard with the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm here today to announce my first program with the Sam Hubbard Foundation called Hubbard's Cupboards.
Which is absolutely amazing for a brand new program. So we started last year with 5 schools, and then we grew to 13 this year, and then next year we're going to 21. So we do have a Vision 2030 goal of getting up to 70 schools.
When we started to talk about Hubbard's Cupboards, healthy snacks was an important item, an important thing to include for Hubbard's Cupboards and for the Hubbard Foundation. So being able to mix the two together, we've been able to really serve the whole student and provide needs that just far outreach anything that we would have been able to do alone.
Is aggressive. But it's a vision, and I think that's been established by Crayons, by us, as the Sam Hubbard Foundation, so I think that's really the overarching goal. And then I think the next thing is really, how do we impact these students? Can we put more food in these cupboards to really impact them? So as we go out and raise dollars, it's not only to expand this, but also deepen the impact in a very special way. They think they get a lot from us, we get double that from them. So for us as a young organization to be able to piggyback off the legacy of Crayons Computers and the team that they've built, we wouldn't be here without that. We'd be still trying to figure out the idea of what we want to do with our mission. Having Crayons has given us a reason to exist.
It's the perfect marriage of two nonprofit organizations with the same goal, the same mission, coming together to accomplish something special. It's really important that these cupboards are equally accessible to all students. You know, there's no shame in taking anything, and no kids can be picked on because we're not keeping track of or asking who needs what. You go on your own time, you pick out what you need as you need it, and it can do a lot for kids' confidence. We consider this a hand up, not a handout. You know, this can go a long way in just brightening someone's day. And we set out with a goal of, once we open a cupboard, of never shutting it down, because you know, these students, they'll come to depend on it, and we never want to take that away. So it's really important to us that these are run to a very high standard. The students will be able to count on them.
So they're solving a need of right then and there. So a lot of times if a student comes into a classroom and they don't have, a pencil, they don't have crayons or what have you, the cupboards provide that. Run down to the cupboard, grab some pencils, grab a box of markers, of crayons. The big thing is the hunger. The food insecurity in Cincinnati and the Tri-State area is just astronomical. If you are a student and you are hungry, you cannot learn. You cannot sit still in your chair and function like everybody else. So when we realized that, okay, and just having a Cliff Bar, some applesauce, some Go-Go Squeeze, something just to get them from breakfast to lunch to, you know, their after-school program, or even something to take home, it's just a huge success. And students need this.
The joy, their feelings, their faces, their body, their whole demeanor just brightens. And if donors could see that, I'm sure they would donate tons to this, because our children are our future. And if we can make them feel loved, feel safe, and learn, it would be amazing. And those donors do that by supplying these things for the Hubbard's Cupboard.